What's going on, everyone? If you've been following along, we have constructed our worm bin. We have done the first, second, third feeding, and we are now at the 5-week mark. So if you're still on the fence, let's see how fast we're producing worm castings. So we do have some castings forming along the edges, which shows them migrating their way around. But the cardboard is stopping a lot of the condensation on top. Looks like we've got some pretty well processed worm castings already coming out this bottom end. A few of the adults are starting to migrate, or I like to think they're exploring for greener pastures. So you'll find a lot of the adults move down towards the processed end once they start running low on food. You see we've got quite a few adults coming down this way. And now we're getting to some of the last feeding. So in the previous video, which I'll leave a link for up in the card, we did quite a heavy feed with some quite large chunks of heavy carb and heavy sugar foods. So they do have quite a lot left here. And we're not seeing so much worm ball action because it's not quite as wet as it has been. See some mango peel. Some of the pistachio shell from the last video as well. Again, you can see a lot of this stuff is not quite breaking down yet, but this bin is also really dry. So what we're going to do, we're going to get quite a wet feed for these guys. When I say wet stuff, I mean lots of wet. So we have some spinach leaves here, which with leaves it's a really good idea to crush them up to try and break the cell walls and release some of that moisture. It'll really help the worms and microbes get into it faster. So we're going to release some of that moisture. We got some kiwi, again doing the same, crushing it up, trying to get all that surface area open to the microbes and trying to bring that moisture to help the worms get into it a bit quicker. Some iceberg lettuce, which I've already crushed up. And then at the bottom, we have some tea leaves. These are quite wet. They're not fully dried out, so they're going to go in there like that. Now today, I won't be adding any dry food for them, because I am trying to just moderate the moisture content of this bin. Again, covering everything up nicely. So, as a new worm farmer, controlling moisture is really going to be what you're learning to do. When it's wetter, your worms will be happier to breed, so don't feel like you're doing them any damage by having it quite wet. But when it comes to trying to process the material and harvest some of these worm castings, you'll definitely want it closer to this kind of moisture content, around say 50 to 70%. Any more than that and it'll start clumping up a bit more like mud. But you can see within 5 weeks we definitely have material that is worth harvesting. The worms are definitely getting happy in here now, so we can start challenging them with some different food sources. I shall start this as its own playlist, and I will try and bring you an update for this bin once a week or once every 2 weeks, just to show you, and so anybody who's starting a bin can follow along the process. But I think that's everything for us this week. So if you've liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't yet already subscribed, that's big red buttons already waiting for you. And otherwise, we will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.